host. Before we begin, in the spirit of New Year and a new phase in life, I would like to share that as a fresher myself, I can say with some experience that we are all on the verge of entering the professional world out there. Is this then a positive thing? Yes, absolutely. So are we prepared for it? Perhaps, but perhaps not. But in my opinion, what we all need to do is become opportunists and grab the bull by its horn. And I'm grateful to our gracious speakers who understand this dilemma and are here to guide us through these metamorphic times. Because where we are now was once where they were. But before I introduce our speakers to you, many of you might not be familiar with the LinkedIn itself. So I would like to call Raghav Mittal and Mohit Pal, sophomores at IITG, who will be guiding you through the process of creating a basic LinkedIn profile.
Hello everyone, I'm Raghav Mittal, sophomore at IDG.
And I'm Mohit Pal, sophomore at IIT Guwahati.
We will be guiding you on how to make a basic LinkedIn profile, which will be taken over by the speakers that we have today. So I will start sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's working fine.
Okay, good. So first of all, just make a Gmail account. You can directly log in from the. When you go to the LinkedIn website, there are many options to sign up. So the best option which you can do is join with Google because it directly links with your Gmail account. So I will be creating a new account right now. So this is the username that I gave. So this will be the password, right? So phone number is optional, I guess. Yep. Oops. Not possible, right? Okay, 29 February. So I created a Gmail account, right? So I have to enter a password here. So after security verification, click the email that is the correct way up, right? This is the correct way one. Done. So country is India. So currently I am in Guwahati, right? So I will select in Guwahati, North Guwahati, yeah. Our campus area. So I am a student. I am studying in IIT Guwahati. I am pursuing BTech degree, right? Bachelor of Technology, Visualization Civil Engineering. I started in 2020 and expected is 2024. I moved 16 years. Now I can continue. Okay, so you have to go to the Gmail account, right? I hope it loads. Yeah, loading. This is the Gmail account, right? Yeah. So the password that I got is 19817. So put that here, right? You're looking for a job, not now. I'm studying, right? Okay. And your email contacts, skip it. I don't have any accounts on Gmail right now, so I skip that part. If you have accounts on the Gmail, you can directly import your contacts from Gmail, and the LinkedIn will automatically search for contacts that are on your Gmail through the email ID and add to your connection. You can send them connection directly. So the basic step first is adding a profile picture. Make sure you add a professional profile picture because LinkedIn is more oriented towards getting a job or internship opportunity. Don't add any funky or party profile picture. Okay. So like if I showed mine, yep. Basically, this is you can call a semi-professional profile picture. The professional would be like your face is visible and there is no background is clear. So if I click here, you can change up. You can upload your profile pictures from here. Just for the timing, I'm gonna save this photo because change photo right. Okay, so let's go back. So for the timing, I'm skipping it. Make sure you add a professional profile picture with a clear background. Send me or get the app to next up. So I'm gonna finish it. So this is the basic homepage that you land upon after making a Gmail account and logging into the LinkedIn through a Gmail account. So first of all, go to make your profile a bit attractive. So this is the basic profile that it doesn't have anything. This is what you will land when you have completed all the steps that I have done till now. So first of all, add a profile picture. The one that was saying was something like this. All these are you can say professional profile picture, but this is the one that you should try to upload. If it is not available for the time being, you can upload some of the profile picture in which your face is clearly visible with least background noise. So this you should do. Then first of all, the you can come on to the ad section. Here it is from here that you will start building your profile. And in LinkedIn, there's something called five all-star profile. In all-star profile, what you get, your profile gets a better reach to the recruiters. And it for to get that, you have to complete all the you have to make most of the sections like intro about background. You have to add all this at least one you have to add to get the all-star profile. So as soon as you will complete your profile, building up your profile, you will eventually get to the all-star profile. Members will also profile, get more relevant feed updates, and receive more profile views. So that's the main objective of coming to the LinkedIn, right? So firstly, I will start with the intro part. Intro part, you will get the add the profile photo that I have told you that you have to add the profile photo. It should be a professional one. Coming to the about, this is the main part of your LinkedIn profile. Anyone who visits your profile, first of all, they go through the what is your description, what are you working upon, what are your introduction, what is that you are finding, if you're finding a job, if you are looking for internship, if you are just here to recruit someone, you can type that also here. So I will share mine what I have written in my about part. So, firstly, I have given a short introduction about me, like what am I currently doing, what am I? I'm a sophomore civil engineering branch at IIT Guwahati. This is a brief intro about me. Then, what am I into? What am I doing currently after besides studying civil engineering? What am I working on? So, I'm studying civil engineering, but what are the fields am I exploring, or what am I for on LinkedIn that you have to mention here? And it should be a pretty much catchy, like whoever comes to your profile would basically search for the one line that would make them contact you. So just write something catchy here, then it would be just like the aha moment for the one who is looking out for you. Like he sees this ad and he feels that okay, this is the guy that I was looking for. So just mention the some catchy line here that I am working on the data science and software development side. So what all other things that I'm doing besides this, I'm also participating in the case studies and I'm inclined toward entrepreneurship as well. So this is the second para from here to here is basically about what are you currently working on, what are your fields that you're exploring. Then on the last para, you give a brief brief summary about what you're doing now to achieve your goals and what are your hobbies and etc. Like it is a bit about section is basically a whole short summary about you as a whole. So this should be this should be the catchiest part of your whole LinkedIn profile. Okay, so just make this a bit catchy and more attractive. This is about the description part. Then coming to the, we get the feature. Feature will be taken up by the speakers that we have lined up today. So it is basically about the posts that you can make through the LinkedIn and everything else. Yeah. Coming to the background. After the description, what recruiters look is for what are your work experiences, education, what courses that you have done, and where fields have you explored till now. So this is also very important coming to a LinkedIn profile. In the work experiences, for example, most of the freshers have now joined the Utgam team. So we have given you a title associate manager. So what you can type here is associate manager, and the company name, employment type is, most of you in the college you will be doing the part time. If you are joining any clubs also, you will be doing the part time. You won't be doing the full time work there. So you can select this as a part time, or you can leave it as a blank. Also, it is a non mandatory field. Company name, you can type the where you're working now, which club you're working, or which company are you interning, or which company you are going to take a job, or which company you are currently working for. That's all in the company name. For example, I'm building a profile for the freshers. They are currently associate manager at Udgam, so I will type Udgam here. So entrepreneurship summit, right? And the location, you can skip it, or you can give the location of a campus also, or you may skip it too. And the start date, you can, when did you start and when did you end. If you select this is the basic field that you can go through. And the headline is the basic prime focus of your what you're primarily focused right now. Basically, currently I am a sophomore at civil department, sophomore at IIT Guwahati, so I have written that as my headline here. So if you are working somewhere else, you won't be writing a sophomore or a graduate from IIT Guwahati. You will be writing I'm working here in this field. So that changes from time to time, and it is the whenever someone lands in your profile, he will first see what he will after your name. This line will pop up. So make sure this is the most recent update. What's happening in your job profile, or what's happening in your working profile. So currently I'm a student. I've written a student at Indian Institute of Technology Guwahati. Industry, by default, if you're working in any club in IIT Guwahati, you can write a non-profit organization. Right. So if you're working on if you're doing intern, or if you're doing a job in certain specific industry, you can write there. And a description, as soon as you join any company, or as soon as you join any company, you would be knowing about the description there, what or your work profile there. But if you join any club in IT Guwahati, you would be knowing what your work is there before 1 month of completing your tenure there. So just after the 1 month, or when you get a brief idea of what your work is there, what are you doing right now in the club, you can write a brief description about it. And if you're updating the work experience as for a job, after you leave the job or you're working there, you can write what work are you doing there, what have you done till now. So this will be a brief description of what you have done till now. And by this you can add your experience section. And one major thing, one important thing, most important thing in the add experience section is that for the notified network, if you keep it turned on, every small changes that you do will go to your connections as a notification, and it seems to be a spam to your connections. So make sure you turn it off unless and until you have a huge experience that you want to share with your connections. Then only you should turn it on, like you want your connections to deliberately know that you have worked here or you're working right here. Then only you should turn it on, otherwise you should keep it off. So that's the most important part of you. So for this timing, I will add your non-profit organization. Start date, I will add today is Jan, okay, right? Jan 2021st. Description you can add later, and add media is rarely used by someone if you want to add some external documents, photos, or presentation. Like if you have interned in the company, you would be getting the letter of recommendation or certificate from there. You can add that from here. Like I have added in one of my experience part. I can show you that. Like recently I interned at 100x entrepreneur, so I got a certificate from there. So I attached that. So similarly, if you have interned somewhere and you got a letter of recommendation or a certificate from there, you can attach it from here. Okay. And you can save it. Did you find this job on LinkedIn? It's your wish what you want to do. Save. Great progress, right? So I got one more step forward to the all-star profile. Right. So coming to the second section of ours, about its run. Feature will be covered by the speakers that you have lined up. Coming to the education. In education, currently I'm studying at IIT Guwahati, right? So education includes whatever you have done till your schooling part. You should write from your schooling till now. So you must be enrolled. You must have done your high school and senior secondary from different schools. You can add that too. So currently I'm adding the institute. I'm studying here. It would be bachelor's degree BTech. Field of study is civil, and start date is most probably September. Say I started on September 2020. Just label it's not expected. After you have graduated, you can type your grade, activities that you were involved in the. After you have graduated, you can add all the activities here. If you are by building a profile also, like now you won't be having any activities or societies that you are involved. So after some time, you can add the activities and societies that you were involved. Like you must be volunteering now for the youth club. So after some time, after 1 or 2 months, you can write that you were volunteering at youth club and what works have you done for the youth club. In the description part, what works have you done through the youth club, and same as add media. If you get some PR certificates, your BTech degree, uh, BTech.pdf. I must not say that, but okay. If you get the btech.pdf part, if you have the, you will be getting a PDF. So add that to here after graduating. So save. And for the, you can add your school, like if you completed your high school from some school. Let me search for it. Suppose this is it, and I completed my higher secondary or high school diploma or anything. You can type your degree here, whatever you did. Start date from which year to which year you studied in that school. What was the CGPA or grade at the end of your completion? Like mostly people do about the 10th and the 12th part. So you completed your 10th from Delhi Public School and you can add the grade that you got in your schools. Activities and societies, what were you involved in your school, and activities and societies, with different societies you must have volunteered for, you can add there. You can add the description about your school life here. And again save. And similarly you can add for your higher secondary, and also if you want you can add your coaching too. I have added that here. So you can add your JE coaching if you want that. Now coming to the education is a license and certificates. During your first year or during your 4 years, you will be doing various courses which are not taught in your course, which are not taught by the IT prof. You must be getting certificates for them. For example, you must be enrolling for various courses through Udemy or Coursera. You will be getting certificates there. So you can write about the certificate, which course did you do. For example, I did uh, neural network course, right? Neural network. So example, neural network and deep learning course you did from the Coursera. So you can write that here. And issuing organization was Coursera, right? Write that here. And issue date would be some month which you have completed the course. It would be mentioned on the certificate. And credential ID and credentials URLs are rarely given by the any course. So if you get, you can add. It is preferred to, if it is preferred to add here. If you don't get also, if you don't add also, it isn't a problem, because when you write the certificates or courses that you have done in your CV, you have to attach a screenshot of the certificate. So for the LinkedIn, it would work if you don't add your credentials. Adding credentials, you are taking. So like this, you can add all the courses that you do in your 4 years. License in the certification section, right? Then volunteer experience. Volunteer is something like you aren't paid, you didn't benefit by working there. Like you work for Red Cross, you volunteer there, you don't get any letter of recommendation or PR from the organization. You can write that in the volunteer section. For working in the clubs, you will mostly get a POR, position of responsibility certificate. So that comes under add experience section, right? But for RSS, or yeah, sorry, RSS, I'm saying for Red Cross Society, if you work or NSS, you won't be getting any certificates from there. So you can add that in the volunteer experience. And going to the volunteer experience, it is same as organization. What was your role? What was your cause? And started, ended, and the description. It's all there. And for that's all. And for there's a you should always customize your URL. Like for now, LinkedIn has given me such a big number here, 59. I am not able 592425228. This seems to be odd when you mention it in your CV. So what you can do is that you can go there. Uh, Wait a second. Yep. Personalize the URL for your profile. Click on here and you can select the URL that you want. Make sure it's available there. Okay. So if I select this, hope it's available now. Yep, it's available. So if I go to the home, I have made my URL from 5924, the big number, to 007, right? So if I view profile, now my URL is updated to 007. And if you mention it in your CV, if you give it to someone else also, it seems to be much more better than the previous one. So make sure you customize your URL from there. Now for the rest of the section, Mohit will be taking up, and after completing all of the sections, you will be eventually reaching to the all-star profile. And also make sure you always make 5-star. You always maintain 500 plus connections. So for sending connections, I will show you. Let me type my email. So I go to your profile, send more, and I will send a connection request here. You can for someone, if you are if you think that the person that you're sending a connection won't accept your connection and you got to know him from a course or something else, you can add a note to like hello, I got to know from X Y Z. Okay, so just send it from here. And when I go here, right, so if I got here, wait a second, let me refresh it. So I got a connection from the account Amsham and I got a note here. So it seems to be more credible when you send a note, when you send a person connection with a note, because he gets to know that you met him and it makes you remember him, remember it from where you both met or from where you both got connected, right? So I can accept from there. So that was all for the sending connections, and like always try to maintain a 500 plus connections here. It will make your profile, it will give your profile a better reach than the others. So as soon as I would suggest you send connections among your batchmates too. That would eventually build up 500 plus connections. Now the rest of the part will be taken up by movie, and eventually we'll getting the all-star profile. Thank you.
So hey guys, I'll take you up to the next of the rest of the remaining sections. Let me share my screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, yeah. So, okay. So we have the next section, that is skills. So as you guys are freshers, so we don't expect that you all will have like any specific skills. So skills are actually basically all the skills that you are actually having and you are actually like quite good at. So add skills that you are actually really sure that you can like if any job is given to you, you can come up to it. So basically, since you are freshers, we don't expect that you have everything. So you can add basic skills like non-profit organization, customer service, or like Microsoft Excel. For example, let me just give an example: Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Office. So these are the skills that you already, I think, we expect that you might be doing. So these are the skills you can add so that whenever any of the recruiter comes, so he comes to know that yes, this guy has some skills, that he knows this what this is, right? So like for reference, I can show you my profile. I have some skills. I've added the skills that I'm somewhat proficient at. Like for example, Python, project management, MySQL, and the others. So these are the skills. One more thing, add the skills that you're really confident of. Don't add skills if you don't know, right? So add limited number of skills, but add only those that you're confident of. So once you add the skills, there are some skills, for example, Python and MySQL and other programming languages where you can take a skill assessment test. So this is a small quiz that you can give, and once you pass it, you get a badge like this. For example, I've got a badge for MySQL and Python. So if you get it, it actually highlights in your LinkedIn profile, and whenever a recruiter visits your profile, so it comes on like highlight. So definitely that's a plus point you would like to have. So give the test once you are confident that yes, you can give that and you can pass it. Okay. So yeah, that's the case for skills. And of course, you can add all the skills. Like you can even add soft skills. I think there's some others. Like for example, if you have time management or you have project management, all these soft skills also you can add them up so that recruiter can come to know. And so moving on to the next section, accomplishments. So publications, this section is not really required for you. This is for those people like, for example, any authors or any of the greater personalities who have books or journals published, so they can publish it. So this is not for our reference for now. So we are skipping this section for now. And patents. So patents is also for research scholars. If you have any patents or like if you have something really good to display and like you have a patent for it, so you can display it. So that's basically most of the freshers do not. So this also we are skipping for now. But if you want, you can add this up anytime. So we are moving to courses. Okay. So courses basically are some of the courses that are actually that you want to present it into your profile. Like if you're building a software development profile or a data science profile or a product profile or a design profile or any other profile, so you need some courses that you need to show your recruiter that I know I have taken up these courses and I have completed it. So there are various courses. I think even Raghav said about the Coursera courses and like he introduced you. So these courses you can add them up there as well, like in this license and certifications, or else you can add it in the courses section as well. For example, I prefer to add the courses that I've taken up in my college, which I add those courses which you are confident of, by the way, on the side note. So just for example, if you want to add a course name, let me just take for example Introduction to Computing. This is a course that you will getting actually, by the way, all the freshers. And this is your course code. For example, every course has a code. So this is one. And association that depends on your reference. For example, this refers to IIT Guwahati. So you can select IIT Guwahati. Okay, save it. And here it is. You have added a course. Okay. So similarly, you can add all the courses that you have done and you have completed. So add only the completed courses and if someone asks any question from you, you must know about it. Okay. So you can just bluff about it. Okay. Uh, and moving on to the next section. So these are I hope courses section was pretty clear. It was simple. So moving on to the project section. So project is basically if you have any web development project or any other project that you have worked on, you can add it. For example, or electronics lab project or a robotics project, or be it any project from other fields, you can add them up here. So you can just type out the name, for example, like XYZ. Then if you're working on the project, you can just click it up and start the date for reference. Just take it this year. Okay. So if you have any other creators, you can add them up. It's your choice. Like, for example, okay, Sarah real person. Okay. Then if you want to associate it with something, if you're working on a project that is related to IIT Guwahati, so you can click it here and you can give the URL or the GitHub link or whatever the project is, and you can describe it in brief here. So you can save it like this. Okay. So I did not add it just for reference. So like this way. Okay. XYZ Jan and the other creator is this guy. Okay. So this is also pretty simple. And then we are moving to the next section, that is honors and awards. Okay, so if you have any honors or awards, like you have received like any scholarship or any kind of like honors from an institute, you can just add them up. For example, like you can just give the title. For reference, I can give you my this one. So like our team had worked on like a project called Exoskeleton, that is a robotics project, wherein we had received the Juris Choice Award. So this way, like for example, if you want, you can just add this up here, and so like you can just give the title. It will look like this. Then add your association. This is related to IIT Guwahati. Okay, so let's click this and the issuer. So the award was issued by Robotics Club of IIT Guwahati. So like you can just add here Robotics Club and the date, whatever date you want. It depends. Like it's just this is an example, and you can describe it in brief. For example, this was chosen as a winner among the others by the jury during Texhibit. So this was one of the event that was conducted. So I described it in brief. If you want, you can add a few more lines about it. It's optional. Okay. So like if you want, you can just add it here. So this one also gets highlighted among among their recruiters. Like, yeah, this guy also has a honor and award. Like he has received an award. So and jury's choice award basically like from some professor. So basically, it's good. So this thing is basically somewhat what you're flexing it in front of others. Okay. So yeah, if you have any, you definitely you should add it up. And then I hope this was clear. Then we are moving on to the test scores. So, okay, test scores is basically all the tests that you have scored good at. Like, for example, since you guys have recently given J Advanced, so like you can just add on the title like J Advanced. Then associated with like what? It's optional. Like if you don't want, like this is not associated with anything, like you can add the score, like whatever your marks are or whatever your AI or whatever you want to display here. Then at the month when you receive this award, like if you receive this test score, I think I'm not sure. I think it's October or November, right? You guys. And then if you want, you can describe it. I chose not to describe it, but if you want, you can just describe like what you received and among how many people like received an award, and just save it. So this is also optional. And apart from that, like you can add up your like for reference, you can just check out my profile. Like here, I've added my school profile, like my score in 10th standard. This way, like all India secondary school, and this senior secondary for 12th. I added my J advanced score, and recently another score. If like this section for like 1 point, this one you can add it in achievement as well as test score. Like since this rank is like 54 and all, like you can if your score is really good, you can even add it in achievements. So it's just your option. It's your choice. So the basically all you need to do is like get your recruiter to know that yes, you have something in your profile. So that's just the way of like letting them know. Then I hope this was clear. Then moving on to languages. So languages basically first of all English will hopefully everyone like is conversant in English. So you can just add basic language. Like one of the first language you can add is English and your proficiency level. Preferably like if you it's your choice if you want to like give a preferency like proficiency you can add it or you can skip it like okay, just keep it professional working proficiency and save it or any other language. For example, I have added a few languages. So this way you can add it and keep it for reference just in case like you want to work in foreign languages, so like foreign companies and somewhere outside like our borders, like outside India. So you can just add them. Okay, so this is just for like just add English. It's okay. Like it suffices English Hindi for now. So then I think this is also quite simple. Then we are moving on to organization. This I think is not of much use to us. So this is basically if you're working in some organization, then you can add like if you're working in Microsoft or any other like you have some experience in other multinational companies, you can just add them up like you are holding this position, you are a vice president or something, XYZ. You can just add them if you want. So this won't be of any use to you because for now I think all of us are freshers and diplomas, so like it's okay. So you can just skip this section for now. Then we have causes. If you have any causes, like good causes, like your work for animal welfare or arts and culture, children, like, or if you have worked for any NGO, like volunteering for like, or like organic farming or something like that. It depends. Like some of my friends had volunteered for organic farming, so they had added this causes that they have worked for this. Or any other cause, like it's your choice. So you can add them up if you want. So this is also optional, not necessary. But if you can add it, definitely it's a plus point. Then moving on to the next section, that is additional information. So yes, this is something that you get it in generally not in the first year. Like if you have worked in a project under a professor or under a senior, like uh, some senior executive or someone, and you have done a great job, like you're confident you have done a great job. For example, you have worked on a project like let's say for you have worked on project exoskeleton with some professor XYZ. So you can ask that professor XYZ that like I have successfully completed this project and can you give me a recommendation? So once you give a once he agrees to give a recommendation, for example, just then he will give you that he'll describe that he has worked quite well, and that will actually be a highlight on his CV. So it's really good. See, for example, I'm asking just for reference. I have given this guy Raghav. So relationship, like for example, you select that Raghav directly managed you. And the position, what was his position? Then your position was basically a student, and then would you give me a recommendation like what I worked under? I worked under XYZ and so on this way. Okay. And send it to him. And once he receives it, and like if he agrees to it, he'll give you a recommendation. And that at that time, you there will be a section wherein it will highlight. So it is generally not like that prevalent among freshers. So don't worry about it for now. Okay. So and we have another supported language. This section you can skip if you want. Like since all of us speak English and like they're pretty fluent, so we don't need any other language. So this section is basically just an option. Like in case someone does not speak English, like you speak Japanese or like you speak Korean, so you can just add up your name in that language. So I think it won't be of use to us in our context. Yeah. So I hope all the sections were pretty clear. And these are very simple, basic things that you need to know. And in case like you can just get like figure them out yourselves, I guess. I think it's pretty easy. So yeah, hope this is clear. And now I would like to give the mic to Ayush. Okay, cool.
Thank you, Raghav and Mohit, for your efforts. I hope now you all have a better idea about the platform and are fired up too. Thus, I would like to present to you the most awaited Mr. Shubham Gupta and Mr. R.N. Rathod. Mr. Shubham Gupta is a final yearite at IIT Guwahati, who will soon be joining Ola Mobilities as software developer. He has also done research intern for UIT Norway and carries a Google HashCode All India ranking of 19. While Mr. Aryan is a pre-final yearite at IITG and an upcoming research intern in product designing at Flipkart. Not to mention the design head of our very own technical board of IITG. So without doing any further ado, let's begin. Shubham Bhaiya, the stage is all yours.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Bhaiya, fine.
Okay, sure. Is it visible?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Cool. So, hello, myself Shubham, and I will be taking workshop on how to power up your LinkedIn profile. So, I will be joining as SD role in Ola Mobility as Ayush said. So, first of all, about me. So, I'm a final year right at IITG Chemical Engineering department, and I have a followers of about 13,000 plus LinkedIn followers, and my post views ranges from 5,000 to 50,000. So I have done about 4 interns in my first year because I wanted to know what interns are. So what all same type of interns I can pick up, I applied for them and I done all of them and I've completed all of them. So I have done research intern at UIT Norway, and I was Google Code Inventor also. So I was SWC AppD head and ex Alcher AppD head. So as Richard Branson says, that opportunities are like buses, and there is always another one coming. So agendas we will be covering up are why LinkedIn, how to stand out, and if you have fear to post, then what you should do, and how you should build your followers. And the four most important thing will be how to get referrals and jobs, how to send messages to people and connect to them, and what all tools are there. Two tools I will be sharing that you can use to brand yourself and you can follow them. So why LinkedIn? So LinkedIn is, as you know, it's the world largest professional network and about 690 plus million members. So you need to shine and stand out among them. Like so many people are there, and you will have to be someone special so that people will find you. So it helps to make you connections and land jobs, and it helps you to know that what all other professionals are doing, and helps you to teach that where you should invest yourself. This is actually a profile portfolio of yourself, a reflection of yourself. So how to stand out? So this is my LinkedIn profile. So this is how you should write a catchy headline so that whenever one sees your LinkedIn profile, he gets attached to it. So here you can see what all headlines are there, that what I have done or what I am doing. Some of my achievements should be mentioned here, and what your interest is there, and you have to make a particular motive that what end you want to go. So you have to make your profile in such a manner that it should reflect you and it should take you in such manners. So I always wanted to cover up my academic aspects and go into a SD profile role. So my research intern was also totally based on software development roles. So, and next thing was the feature section, which can be used for uploading your resumes, some of your better achievements. And like I have done one bug bounty hall of fame, and I have founded bug bounties on European Union. So I used feature section to upload that I have founded, and my name is mentioned in Bug Bounty Hall of Fame. Now, this is about how I wrote my about section. So, give a quote or title, something kind of thing, then what you are passionate about, what technologies you work on, because whenever one sees your profile and don't want to read complete thing, then he will check in short about yourself and why he should hire you or why he should contact you. So write your interest. All interest should be, like as I said, it should be motivated or it should be aligned to what you want to become. And one more thing, that use banners and profile picture. Profile picture should be on a suit or something like professional. Now, next thing is, if you are feared to post, then what you should do. As a if you are feared to post, then choose any topic, like and start with a poll. First you can start with a poll, like example is which ID you like. Example options can be Android Studio, Visual Studio, Eclipse or IntelliJ, something kind of thing. So this was my poll kind of thing that reached about 48,000 views. And I wrote a catchy headline, and as LinkedIn don't have bold kind of thing, then you can write something that will be in caps lock or something kind of thing. You can tag some people who are very much famous in these kind of stuff. Some of them to be mentioned, like Akshay Saini Bhaiya and some of others. And like if you are in Bug Bounty, you can mention Aditya Shinde and all of those people, and this will gain you the reach and the people who are interacting with your post. So also you can challenge people that can you do this or not, and be sure that seek advice also from the people. Do write much more than the simply the title, and do make sure that the title should be of 2 to 3 lines, and after that space a line should be taken on, and after that a paragraph should be written about what it is, why you wrote this, and what you want people from this. So also engage with audience in the comment section, tag some popular people in this domain. Now, how to build your followers? So as one know that to start building followers, you must make a post even. So engage with people to start them, and you can start threads like 100 days challenge, 30 days motivation, 1 week challenge, or 30 days code forces. Like if you solve any problem, then you can mention that why you solved this problem, why you chose this problem, what you learned from this problem, and what was the time complexity, why you wanted to solve this problem. You can mention all of these in your LinkedIn post, and you can tell that in your own way. So this was my first post where I started Get Motivated Day challenge, and it was 100 days challenge for me. So this was my first post, and this reached about 49,000 views on this. So use particular hashtags, and people will start following those hashtags, and you will gain followers as soon as possible. Now ask people to endorse yourself when you will post about your projects or your achievements. Do ask them to endorse yourself. More endorsement will reach you higher followers in your LinkedIn profile. So upload your achievements, keep uploading your project sections, and maintaining your timeline section, that what you did from this to this time, this to this time. People used to check all of those timelines in your LinkedIn profile, because they will get to know that if you have done anything in this time period or not, why you have lag up in that period. So people can judge you on the basis of timeline sections. Also ask your friends and friends or seniors to recommend you, and recommendation is very much important, so that people can see that you are uh, okay. My interns in my first year. Okay, in first year, I did 2 interns were related to mentoring and taking seminars on the colleges and schools. So it was in my first year, I completed JEE and all. So I wanted to be focused on how to crack JEE and all. So I searched about interns that will be more particularly based on those. So one IIT Kanpur or IIT Roorkee startup was there named Bolo, where I mentored students. Then I searched all of them on Internshala and LinkedIn. So LinkedIn in jobs and intern section, you can check all of those. I will be sharing all of those things, how you can search them. So most awaited thing, referrals and job section. So is LinkedIn alone enough? No. Means LinkedIn can take you referrals, can help you getting job section, but it will not help you to land job. To land job, you need to do DSA, the harsh truth. So let's move on. So this is how referrals and job sections work. This is how a job section profile in LinkedIn looks like. You can click here job section, and you can write what you want to do as a job. You can write the place, you can search, and you can use the filters. There is a easy apply section. Easy apply section help you directly apply from, like in this it is apply easily. You don't need to go to their website and do all of these filling stuff or forms. You can directly choose and directly click apply now. So here it is all filters option. In all filters option, you can use it wisely on choosing what specifically kind of title you want, what specifically location you want, and also these filters can be used on connecting peoples. How you can connect peoples? See, by writing on Recruiter, Amazon, or something like that on like your favorite company, and you can search all of them. You can select what all connection requests are coming. Especially third plus connections are less likely to be connected, because all second connections are those in which you are friends of friends. So in second, you are most likely to be get connected easily than third. So I basically search about how we recruiters on Amazon are there. We can select people, and we can select like second, and we can select location or current companies also. In all filters, we can choose that we want only those people who were alumni of IIT Guwahati or connected to IIT Guwahati, so that the chances of connecting to them is very much high. Then you can connect to them by clicking the connect, and you can add some of the contents as message that why you want to get connected. Like I got connected with a senior where I asked about him that can you refer me for Meta as a software developer. So he referred me also, and I applied for Facebook also. So this is still under process, and most probably I'm not sure what will be going to happen on this. COVID is also going on now. If you have a good LinkedIn profile, then do make sure that you will be getting all of those messages where the hiring professionals will be calling you or messaging you directly that do contact us, do share us resume, or you can connect with us to get into these jobs. So, and two important tools I will be sharing, that is Brand Yourself and resumeworder.com. In brandyourself.com, you can connect with your LinkedIn, you can connect with your Twitter, you can connect with your Google and all of those stuff. This will tell you scores, that what your scores lies on. That this is very much helpful for creating SEO for yourself. Like on searching on Google, if you search my name Shubham Kumar Gupta even on incognito, then my name will be on the top for the LinkedIn profile. So and the second one is to check your LinkedIn profile, what's the score of particularly on LinkedIn profile and how you can make it better. You can use this resumeworder.com. And thank you, you can connect with me, and this is my website. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhaiya, for sharing your wisdom with us. I speak as a fresher when I say it was my pleasure to learn from you. We are open to questions now. Please write them in the Q&A tab and not the chat, please.
I will share my slide to the eCell team, and they will be sharing to you.
It's a question, Bhaiya, about the intern frame from Lakshya. Second semester, like they can participate. I mean, many of them don't have the necessary experience or skill set for that. So they want to ask that should it be good to apply for it in the first year for interns?
If you don't have so much skill, or if you don't feel yourself that you are not you don't have caliber to do something or do make something for someone to be it good enough, so I will prefer you that you should learn firstly, so that you can get skill set, then you should apply. In my class 11th and 12th, I was having my I taken courses on computers, and I learned on developing Android applications and Android games. So I applied for interns in my first year, and my first intern on first year was Newsera Android application, and it was also in a startup. So for the foremost thing, you should take skill set, then you should apply for intern. Else it will have a negative impact on your profile also. Like people will not ask you to do anything because they know that you are not eligible, or you don't have that much credibility to do something. So first, get that skill.
And there's a question from Ronak Agarwal. So, can we add the school or school awards if they got for academics or something?
If you feel that that award is contains credibility and that will add credibility to your profile, then you should definitely add those. But if you think from the aspect of the HR section, then I should tell that you should not add those awards that will, if award section are like if you have cracked any Olympiad kind of thing, then you should definitely write all of them. Like if you have been some got some awards for being academic head of your school, then you can add those all of things, like that will show some management kind of aspects in your profile. You can definitely add all of them. And TSC and KVPI scores, you can add all of them.
Question from Jagdish Panda. Can ongoing courses on Coursera be mentioned in LinkedIn profile?
Obviously, if you have done any courses, then it should be mentioned on LinkedIn. If you are doing ongoing courses, then it is not complete. But and it also depends that ongoing represents what stage of your course you are there. So I think you should not mention any ongoing courses. Complete that course, get scores and percentage of that Coursera certificates, and then you should uh, post in LinkedIn profile, so that it will mark that you have completed and you have given test also. Ongoing does not state that you are in 50% stage of that course or 30%. It can be that you just started yesterday. So I don't think you should mention any ongoing courses.
Bhaiya, there's a previous question about the second connection that is written beside your name.
Okay, so what I think is there are total of first, second, and third type of connections you search in LinkedIn. So what I feel is if you search for like recruiter Amazon, then first and second are most likely to be get connected, because whenever they will see that you have sent them request, then they will see that there is a message written by you, and they will see that you were connected to those. Like in Facebook, if you send someone request, then it shows that you are he is friend of this guy. And if I know that you are connected to some of my batchmates, then I will definitely connect with you. That's the basic thing. So you should choose basically first and second generally to get connected. Means it increases your chance to be get connected to others.
Question, guys. You can ask any tech related questions also from Bhaiya. There's a question from Jayesh. How should I build my LinkedIn profile if I want to build a research career in data science and AI ML?
So if you want to build into go into data science and AI, then definitely you should go on to Kaggle and give competitions there. You can learn about how what all things working there. You can do courses like deeplearning.ai and Andrew Learning courses, and like TensorFlow courses and all of these. You can participate in hackathons and build projects that is based on data science and hackathon. Mention them, mention some of the good people and some of the good companies. Like if you are mentioning means I remember one of the student that he created something Android application because cred does not allow people who has less credit score. So he built an Android application looking very much similar to cred application, and he uploaded that video to LinkedIn. So that, and he tagged cred people, so they admired them also. So if you want to build anything, build a profile kind of thing, so do all of those things what all comes to your mind. And second thing is search for good data scientist people, or good people you want to become, and you want to do all of these kind of related stuffs, and start learning from them and start investing yourself there.
There's a question from Ronak. Currently, I started a course on DSA and also learning Python. I have good basic knowledge of Java and also interested in web development. Should I apply for intern fair? I mean, it's a question for intern fair, but if you want to, if you're interested, Bhaiya.
From my side, yes, because if you know all of this thing, and if you want to know, and if you know that you can build something, then definitely you should apply. Because in intern fair, generally second yearites apply, so they do not think much from you. They do not expect much from you. They also give some training kind of thing, and you can build something. So basically, it is like one in best, one in worst. So become best from others, and you can get intern fair also. Rest ECL can also answer.
Okay, so we got time constraint. So guys, any question related to non-tech will be taken by the next speaker. So it looks like we have no more questions. So let's proceed. Now I would like to ask Aryan Bhaiya to take the mental, for we all are eager to hear you. On to you, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, you're not audible. Yeah, please connect your sound here. And any if you have any more questions about related to
Hello.
for Shubham Bhaiya, you can write. हाँ भैया, you are audible now.
Oh, okay, पता नहीं. Okay, right, cool. Is my screen visible?
Yes भैया.
अच्छा ठीक है, चलो ठीक है, works. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I mean, good night. It's 8 now. Okay, so I'll run through my stuff pretty quickly because everybody over here have covered a lot of stuff which you would require to build the base for essentially starting off your career. And I would like to thank both everybody from ESL as well as Shombya, because even I learned something from what he had shared today. So that was amazing. Okay, so myself, Aryan Rathore, I'm from third year computer science. I actually pivoted from going into development or essentially like ST side to shifting to product design. And I'll be joining over Flipkart as a product design research intern for this summer. Okay, so so the aspect which I'll be covering from my end would be the freelancing aspect, which you can essentially take leverage of using LinkedIn. And I would be mostly covering the product aspect, as in product design, product management, uh, and product analyst. You can also consider consulting associate in this position as well. Okay, so we'll just start. For today, I prepared all of the stuff related to freelancing as a whole, as in should you freelance or not, is it even something which you require right now, is it something which you should have a look at, or is it something which you should consider, and if you are interested to do so, then how you should move on with it, how should you start off, what kind of opportunities does LinkedIn provide, and how you can essentially create a cycle in which you would be which would be helpful for you for your career long term as well as your freelancing career. That's also something I'll be looking at. And finally, what kind of a portfolio would people would be expecting from these different domains? Essentially, all of this is given over here in quite precise manner. I'll just go over it while speaking essentially. Okay, so for freelancing, right now in 2022, it's mostly either in a completely remote fashion or it is hybrid, but that's very rare in my opinion. So right now, if you see the entire freelancing structure which does exist, the core skill which you have to develop, which is a prerequisite to even start off in this, is just a single part in this entire working machine. You have to essentially manage your time with the client and the team you'll be working with. You would have to give yourself some space as well. In order to score projects, there are some inbound and outbound methods you have to work on. And if you're trying to actively look for opportunities, you could go for AngelList or Upwork in order to score some good projects as well. And since and while talking about product as a whole, as in PDPM and PA, design management and analyst, you can actually go for self-initiated projects as well. Other than that, you have to essentially keep on improving yourself, which would be working on yourself as well, where your own portfolio, the skills which you acquire after taking up every project, has to be taken into account. And on top of that, since all of you are students, and that too at a pretty impressionable point right now, since I'm expecting everybody is in their first and second year right now, so you have to focus on your academics as well, because I will be clear right now, like all of you have come over to this institute to first of all study and get a degree, and this is something of a side hustle which you can continue on with your academics. And at the end of it, while managing all of this, you have to work on the main project itself. So that would include putting out proposals to potential clients, invoicing them for what kind of a work which you'll be doing. Then the core work, which would be to either develop, design, or analyze the relevant work of the product which you will be doing. And at the end of it, collaborate with the clients and the teams itself. So freelancing would essentially open up a gateway for you to understand how teams or smaller teams or companies, or like companies at a smaller scale, function. And this would help you in your career as a whole. Like matlab, it just as trains you in a lot of manners. It's like matlab, how should I say this, it's that key, you'll be learning how to articulate and present your ideas, because right now learning the information and then not being able to properly project it or properly essentially communicate it, like right now, usme what would end up happening is that key, you would be undervalued regardless of how good you are. So I think freelancing does help in that. And for specifically for freshers, I would recommend everybody to explore the different domains. And since you have a lot of time right now to do so, I'll go over that in the last slide. And for secondary who have finished up their third semester, third, I think, yeah. You guys have finished up your third semester, so you'll be studying for your fourth. So you have about 8 months right now for the upcoming internship process. So right now, I would recommend everybody to essentially start honing in on at least some kind of vertical, and then start working towards it, so that you can learn the skills on a specific aspect. For example, like as Kalta Shombia said, like matlab, for example, if you really like it's a like app development, and then you can start off with proper projects. You can go start picking up freelance projects on that, start getting internships on that, and then you can build up your portfolio along the way. Isme, you'll see that the first step is essentially from going from 0 to 1. I'm not even talking about reaching the pinnacle of anything. I'm just talking about how would you even get started. And this on the left is like the most comical yet the saddest thing about the entire industry. The thing is that key, you need experience to get a job, but you need the job to have an experience. So it's like matlab, so it's like there's this very very vicious cycle which you have to break into first in order to get a foothold wherever you want to work. And usme the thing is that ki you need and this was again covered by Shambhya as well as kya bolte the students from ESL, and it was a very good coverage that you need to first essentially select a zone, start learning the relevant skills on it. And then since you would be doing some kind of courses like Coursera or any kind of MOOC, as in any massive online or massively open online course, whichever platform you choose, they usually have the capstone project at the end of it, in which you can implement the skills which you have just learned. Other than that, you have a lot of opportunities within IT Guwahati itself, where you can work on a lot of projects, and through those you would start essentially building up the necessary skills which you need. Now, the next step after essentially finishing projects like these would be to implement this implement the skill set, and that would come through again covered beforehand. That would be through hackathons and competitions, where you can use the tech stack, or you can use the design skills, or you can use the management skills which you have gotten beforehand, and then you can come up with relevant case studies. Something in specific, if you want to go for product management or product analyst, would be to have a look at the current startup scene, where the different companies or their different expansion strategies as they move along, and you can essentially make case studies arguing for or against how whether the decision taken by the company was good or not. This is something which would benefit product managers and analysts. For product designers, you can always work on self-initiated UX projects, and you can showcase them on the relevant platform. I'll go over that as well in just a bit. After this, I would like to talk about how would you be able to score those opportunities. So on your section, on your LinkedIn page, once you're done with the basic 0 to 10, which the ESL team had talked about, you would have to essentially go over and then add the necessary services which you think that you would be providing to recruiters, and the fact that whether you're open to work or not, you would have to showcase the best work you have done. So for non-tech people, as in for product design, management, and analyst, you can add up and link all of your case studies here, which you have posted on LinkedIn. And whenever you add an experience, I would recommend everybody to either document it while you are there, or create some kind of document where you're able to essentially visually showcase what you have done. So the impact of you joining an organization should be present on your LinkedIn as well, because truth be fair, because truth be told, images would be like matlab, like it's such a hard saying, like that images have 1,000 words wala. So you get my point. So you can essentially add all of the PDFs which you have. For example, I had added what I had done under for my what I had done under journeys, what I had done under SWC, and what I did in my intern essentially. So this is how you can essentially model your LinkedIn, and how you can essentially upload everything from your end in order to start getting clients from your end. And isme you can actually I'll talk about the relevant domains as well. So you have to just focus on highlighting your projects. You have to post all of the work on your relevant GitHub repository, Behance portfolio, or Notion board, and then link it up, and then share it with everyone on LinkedIn essentially. And these are the domains in which you can work for non-tech from my end, where you have a scope of freelancing in India. These aren't the only domains which exist. Like a lot of companies have a lot of expensive how should I say, like a very, very expansive range of openings for everything. But if you are trying to essentially freelance right now for first and second year, then these are like most of the places which these like most of the profiles you would be able to apply to, which would be available. So it's again, for product, you have product analyst, product design, management, and consulting associate. If you go towards marketing, then you would have copywriting, corporate relations, and social media marketing. In software and tech, you would have app dev, web dev, software development, machine learning, data science, and you can get into quant and algo, but it's like a very fringe case because there are very less financial associates available right now, financial associations available right now who are looking for freelancers. But yeah, so mostly that's from my end, because everything related to LinkedIn has been covered, and this is just more of a general overview of how you have to essentially start off and what factors you have to consider before you essentially take the next step and think about freelancing. And so that's pretty much it from my end. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun Bhaiya, for giving us such wonderful insight and enlightening us with your knowledge. We are open to questions now. Again, please write them in the Q&A tab, guys. Question from Ronak. For freelancing, how can we build our portfolio?
Okay, it's like, okay, so if you want to go for, well, I'll tell you about like both product management and analyst, as well as for design, even though I don't think there would be much people for that, but okay. So for either PA or PM, you have to essentially consider like matlab, what kind of advancements have been happening in the industry, and this can happen while you follow LinkedIn or while you follow any type of news channel, or like matlab, like any like any way in which you can essentially get information related to startups. You could go on producthunt.com, and over there you could find out what latest digital products have just been created, where then you can essentially look at the company history and background, and after that you can check on what kind of new things they have been doing. And after you find out what kind of new decisions they have made, you can make a case for or against their decision, and then create it into a case study. So what ends up happening is that key, if you don't have any competition, or if you aren't a part of a club where you would be able to essentially create these case studies, you just found out a way to create a relevant case study, and then you can upload it on LinkedIn. Over here quality does matter. Over here the quality would matter, obviously. So you would have to make sure that your analyst skills are actually up to mark, and after that you would be able to do so. This is for both PM and PA actually. And for product design, the thing is that key, you can go to good you can go to goodbrief.io. Goodbrief.io is a brief creator for design problems, and after that you can essentially tackle those problems and then create a portfolio piece out of it for Behance, and then you can share. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Vijay. Next question we got from Sumit. Which site is preferred for freelancing, as there are many like Upwork, Freeware, etc.?
Okay, so look, since the thing is that key, I'm pretty sure like matlab, since you're coming to this college, you have essentially prepared through a relevant you have either given J or UC, like it's one of them, and then you came over to this institute and you would be studying. So the thing is that key, you like I wouldn't recommend to actively go on Upwork and Fiverr, because you would essentially just get yourself entrapped into the proposal hell, where you would just continuously keep on making proposals for the clients, and then the clients would just keep on rejecting you. So that would take up an immense amount of time, because you would be creating these personalized proposals for them. I would recommend to go the other way around for now, which would be to essentially uh, take briefs for these design projects. Start making your own portfolio on Behance, not Dribble. Start making your own portfolio on Behance. This is currently for design. I'll tell for P and PD again. Uh, Go on Behance and then start making a portfolio piece. Share it with everybody in your network. And then what would happen is that key, as you start to showcase what kind of work you have done, you would have people essentially trickling in to essentially ask you about some projects. So the way is that I was able to score about 4 to 5 freelance opportunities, which I was able to close on in, and all of them were essentially all of them were like essentially handed over to me this way, where I was essentially working on what I like and what I want to showcase to people, and the right people just start coming along. So so the thing is that key for freelancing in design, if you are trying to specifically look at if you're going to specifically go to Fiverr or Upwork, you're just going to lock yourself into a cycle where you would be undervalued, and at the same time you would have to just keep on sending proposals. Do you want to do you want to break out do you want to break down for both analyst or for analyst or PM as well? Sumit, you can type on the chat, I guess. I mean, my LinkedIn would be. I mean, my LinkedIn would be there anyways. Just like, matlab, if you would have any further, if you had any
He's
further
going
questions,
for app development.
Acha, theek hai. So if you want a portfolio for app development, then you would have to start going for projects on your end. For example, we have in our institute we have SWC Student Webs Committee, where Shubham Bhai is heading the app development team, and then you would have coding club. And other than I think you only have these two. Other than that, I don't think you would have any other specific body right now. So these organizations essentially float projects, and then you can do those projects, make a very good GitHub repo out of them, and then you can link it on your LinkedIn, and at the same time showcase that project by writing a post on by writing a post on LinkedIn and then getting it shared. So that's the way you essentially create your portfolio. If you are looking for app dev, developers can make a creative portfolio by coming up with a website, but more often than not, LinkedIn is just doing good. LinkedIn is just good enough if you can document everything which you did properly. Okay, does that work?
Thank you. Next question from Keshav. I mean, it's the same. Can you refer some books and sites? I mean, you have told about the sites. Maybe if you have some books.
Okay, so you won't find a lot of the stuff in books, most probably, because like matlab, digital you won't be able to find. Now be clear, for PM and for product analyst, I would say that you can essentially go for like like again, the best solution is to just literally Google this. Like literally just type out as a product analyst for now. or you could ESL had themselves done a क्या बोलते product management क्या बोलते like a course just beforehand. Meanwhile, if you're looking for product analyst and consulting, so like matlab, you have different clubs within our institute, such as consulting and analytics club, which would be क्या बोलते working on this. So the thing is that if you want to again explore all these domains, then you have to join everywhere. You would have to join most of the clubs, and then you would be able to learn those things along the way. As
And question from Nityam, we got how to start exploring non-tech domains.
Okay, so uske liye again I would so I was covering design management and analyst. So the thing is that like matlab, over here, if you want to just explore any one of them, like matlab, for management and analytics again, like matlab, the kind of work which is done is usually projected through case studies essentially. For example, if WhatsApp adds a new feature, if for example WhatsApp adds a new feature on WhatsApp web, so if you can essentially have a look at it, and if you can like so Google it on the net, then you'll find case studies of people doing the relevant estimates and trying to find out the product strategy, whether what kind of an impact it has on the user base. There are there are some very broad and very normalized case studies available as well. For example, Zomato's group buy. If you were to just Google it, then you'll find the relevant links, and then since it's Google and everything is backlinked, then from there you can essentially start getting to every place which you want. That's for PM. That's for PM and PA. For design, again, you can just go to Flux Academy. You can go to Flux Academy on YouTube, and then those people would have everything sorted out for you. Okay.
Question from Ronak. Should we showcase our freelancing work on our LinkedIn profile and on our resume?
Okay, so I want to just like just tell this thing beforehand. If you score a job at either a company or an association, so you won't be writing that as freelance work. So freelancing essentially means that you aren't exactly applying for your multinational corporations. You're just applying for companies by your end, and they themselves aren't looking to hire full-time interns. They're just looking for somebody who's gonna get the work done on a project basis. So that is the difference between freelance and interns. But when you score but when you score a project, you can write it as an experience, and it isn't necessary for you to write the word freelance. Okay, now that's out of the way, and I'll answer your question now. You have to put up your freelance work on LinkedIn, and then you have to write it in the format in which you write all of your other internships and projects in your resume as well. So the answer is that you have to put it up on both ends. In LinkedIn, like the way I showed it on the slide, you have to essentially add that as an experience, and then LinkedIn gives you an option to add the relevant media. So you could directly link up what kind of a work you did there as a portfolio piece, or you could just add the GitHub repo which you had worked on over there, and then you can add it on the project section as well. If for example you worked on 2 to 3 different projects for the same company, then and if it gets counted under a single experience, then it would be a single experience, but it would have 3 projects. Meanwhile, on your resume, you would write it under the experience tab, and over there you would list out all of the projects which you have done under them. Does that answer your question? I think like.
Okay, Bhaiya, we'll be taking last question from Devesh. If we have to go with any particular profession for internship and explore everything, or go with that one which is only usable?
If you're in your first semester right now, you have virtually an infinite amount of time. You can literally go and look out and look at every domain. If you're in your fourth semester right now, then I would prefer you to lock at least one thing right now and then start working towards it, because the internship season is very close. And as they say, winter is coming.
So
I-
sorry guys, but due to time constraint, we won't be taking any more questions. You can write them and Bhaiya can answer in the chat, in the Q&A section only.
Mhm.
So we will proceed then. So with this, I'd like to conclude the workshop and thank Aryan Bhaiya and Shubham Bhaiya again for their time and efforts. I think we can have a virtual round of applause for this, guys. As for the audience, don't be in such a hurry, guys. We still got plans for you. For all the intern fair enthusiasts, we will soon be having a demonstration to aid you in the application process. Also, as a bonus, a brief on Udgam Pass will be given too, so be with us.
Also, guys, we also have a small giveaway plan for you. After this workshop, we'll be sending you a Google form on the mail where you have to submit your LinkedIn profile. The best LinkedIn profile will receive Udgam goodies from us.
Hey guys, I hope you might have understood the functioning and the use of LinkedIn. Aryan मैंने काफी अच्छे से explain करा वो. And not only this, but Udgam 22 has a lot more to offer to you, but it requires a single unique pass, that is Udgam Pass. So this pass would let you access all of the lecture series, panel discussions, and Ask Me Anything sessions, and a lot more. Now, Akshansh would be telling you about the lecture series, panel discussion, and Ask Me Anything sessions, and then I'll be continuing over. Akshansh?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So this edition of Udgam brings to you one of the best speaker lineups we have ever had. To name a few, we have Charlie Cheever, the co-founder of Quora. We also have Pulkit Jain, the co-founder of Vedantu, and also the co-founder of the largest India's business to business, that is Udaan, who is our Amod Malviya. For panel discussions, we have lots of industry experts who come together and discuss on various topics, which you can listen to. Also for Udgam, we have Ask AMA or Ask Me Anything sessions, where you can basically ask any industry expert what you want to. I remember last year when I had personally interacted with the Geek for Geeks founder, Sandeep Jain, and it was really a memorable experience for me. Now over to you, Himanshu.
So yeah, guys, like if you can, are you able to see the screen, the website that I'm showing? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Is the screen visible?
Oh yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So you can see the website that I'm sharing. So we have Charlie Cheever, Pulkit Jain, Vivek Lal, Amod Malia, Tripesha, Amit Kumar Agrawal. So all of these are the best speakers that we have ever had in this lineup. Not only this panel discussion, as Akshant said, Ask Me Anything sessions, Udgam is offering you everything through a single pass. And also exclusively for IITG students, Intern Fair. Intern Fair is the biggest the biggest bonus that a Udgam Pass can give. So usually first year में internships नहीं लगती हैं colleges में, but through intern fair you first yearites can have the access to internships, and only you can participate in the intern fair only if you have the Udgam Pass. So it's really important if you purchase an Udgam Pass, so you get this opportunity to participate in the intern fair and maybe crack an internship there. And you can use all those skills using LinkedIn and CV building workshop that we already had. Moving ahead, not only this, we have a lot of fun events that are IPL auction, VSM, that is virtual stock market, lined up for you. And also, you guys are smart enough to understand that if you're purchasing a pass for 200 rupees and you're getting some benefits that are worth more than that. So if you add on these benefits, so you are getting 15 grab-on coupons worth INR 1000 rupees plus, voice flow subscription worth 1850 plus, and Balsamic 90 days extended trial worth $98. So it's like 3000 on an average. If we calculate, so it's 3000 plus benefits. So you are investing 200 rupees, and in return, you're getting a lot of knowledge from a lot of industry experts, and also a monetary benefit that is worth 3000 plus. So you need to decide that if you are going to purchase an Udgam Pass or not. Great. So that's all I wanna say, and let's meet and let's see you guys at Udgam 2022, and let us make this edition the biggest one ever. Thanks a lot.
Regrettably, this is where we must depart, guys. It was a very intelligent evening, and I thank the Udgam family and all of its members for that. Special thanks to Team INA, my mentors, and my partner Ananya, another ITG fresher who was unable to join us today. Also, to our adoring audiences, my heartfelt condolence for the mid-semester exams. Best wishes, people. May God be with us. We will be floating Google Forms, like Bhaiya said, soon, in which you will have to submit the link to your LinkedIn profile, and the one with the best profile will get Udgam goodies. So do stay tuned, for we at Udgam have many more fun events lined up specially for you. Thank you, guys.
Ayush, just a minute, guys. I think intern fair demonstration is yet to be done.
Okay. Guys, we still have an intern fair. Okay.
So is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, yes.
So hi, hello everyone. Myself Jashwant, manager at Udgam 2022 and senior executive at ESL IIT Guwahati. So I'm here to walk you through the registration process for intern fair. So before moving into that, let me brief you about intern fair. So what is intern fair? It is an internship event under Udgam, the annual entrepreneurship summit of IIT Guwahati, and it is exclusively held for first and second yearites of our college. If you ask me why intern during the first and second year of your college, no doubt that it gives you edge over the rest, but also it gives you good exposure about the dynamic work culture of the startup, and also it acts as a great learning experience for you. Being limited in team size, you'll also have a chance to interact with the core members and learn and ideate stuff. For any e-summit to succeed, one of the most important things is gaining insights about the startup culture, and Udgam makes sure that this is happening via intern fair. Having understood about intern fair and the perks of interning, let me walk you through the registration process. So this is the homepage of intern fair. Is the screen visible?
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes, can it? Yeah, okay. So this is the homepage of intern fair. Click on I'm a student and click on the register tab. So these are all the events which these are all the fields which you need to fill. Firstly, to register for intern fair, you must have Udgam Pass. If you do not have one already, click on the buy one and you will be redirected to Udgam website. Upon buying an Udgam Pass, you will receive a unique Udgam payment pass ID which you need to enter here. So yeah, the details which you need to enter are name, username, IITG webmail. Make sure that you only enter IITG's mail and not any other mail, as it's only open for IITG students. Enter your roll number, department, contact details, Udgam pass ID, and set yourself a password. Upon registering, you will be directed to your profile page. I already have an account, so I'll log in directly. So yeah, upon registering, you will be directed to this page, your profile page, wherein your name, department, roll number, and your details are shown here. If you have made an error during the registration, you can always edit it in the edit profile page. So yeah, don't worry regarding the same. To apply for an internship, go on to the available internship tab over here. Here you can see there are many profiles available. So yeah, there are more than 850 profiles from more than 60 plus startups. You can always search for a particular startup, stipend or location based on your choice. So let's say I need marketing profile. So these are all the startups which are offering, which are coming out for marketing profiles. And let's say I'm interested in this particular startup. If I click on it, the profile of the startup would be visible. Then I need to click on apply, and you'll be asked 3 questions. Firstly, you need to attach the drive link of your CV. Also, guys, make sure that you give access to the drive link. Attach the drive link of your CV, and you're also asked your willingness of the duration of this internship. So firstly, would you be willing to start the intern from February? If yes, you can click it and move on. I'm willing, both of it are fine with me. So yeah, upon submitting, you will be redirected to your profile page again, and the registration, the application is visible over here. In case you want to edit something, or you want to cancel your application, you can always click on the startup and cancel it. Also, guys, we only have 5 free applications from a single ID. So yeah, so apply smartly. Also, upon canceling, the quota is balanced accordingly. So yeah, that is it for the site demonstration. Also, guys, in case you have any issues with the portal or any technical issues with the website, you can always reach out to us at this mail ID, and these are our team members. Yeah. Also, there are testimonials of past year applicants. You can gain some decent insights about the previous year applicants' experience. These are some of the best testimonials that we have sorted. Also, we have CV building. We have the recordings of CV building workshop. Upon clicking this, you'll be directed to this drive, this Google Doc. Yeah, here you have the recording of CV building workshop and the slides attached. Also, guys, you have resume generators by default over here. So yeah, make sure that you use them before creating your CV and applying. And I think, yeah, based on your application, startups would be shortlisting you from 8 January, and you will receive a mail regarding the same. You'll receive a mail with the interview credentials and details. Also, we would be mailing you a handout guide regarding the process which I've told you. And from tomorrow, we will be having one-on-one CV building sessions. So start building your CV and get it reviewed by us from tomorrow. So yeah, see you soon.
Apologies for the confusion, everyone. We are finally done. Thank you for joining us today, and all the best for your mid-semester exams. And do stay tuned, for we got a lot of other events lined up for you. Thank you.